Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel. Talks about cars and trucks and birds. Have I gone to the birds? What's going on over here? You see them? Yeah, we got a lot of noise going on down here. Interesting. There's the mama and papa. There'll be little goslings running around here before long. Wow. That time of the year. I warned you. Yeah, it's that time of year where the spring is on our doorstep, right? Good morning to everybody that watches my channel. Appreciate all the support and the people that come to hear my voice and my ideas and thoughts and all that I do sometimes. Yeah, so come on, Pop. Let's go. Come on, Scout. Got to get the crew rounded up here. And what are we talking about today on the Ice Age TV YouTube channel? I thought, you know what, let's talk about the warnings. The warnings. The WARNINGS of the times. It just seems like we live in a society of warning. Does it seem that that's all it is anymore? I mean, sincerely. I mean, come on. Are we living a life of fear? Does anybody remember COVID? I mean, come on. It just seems like more than ever. Lifetime, we are living in a time of warning. Come on, Bob, let's go. This here, got the fleet of trucks and cars and all the silly stuff here. So now Kuhn's Baltimore Ford got this same color truck in and a nice Raptor package, 35. Yeah, and they're like, come on, man, come check it out. Yeah, I don't need to do that. You know how that all plays out. Come on, let's go. Come on, Pops. Let's see how the truck's doing. I think like at 4 o'clock. And look at this here. Wow. So, yeah, 12 plus 4, 16 hours. 16 hours of charging. Wow. Can you even imagine? Yeah, I was forewarned. Right? I was forewarned on that. Anybody who watches my channel would be like, yeah, man, everybody here will tell you that these electric vehicles, oh, yeah, I know. But I want to be a person actually, you know, experiences. I just like the pain factor. Have you noticed? Hey, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Get in. Yes, here we go. It's just, you know, chase the dogs. Get in. Come on. Let's go. Get in. Whoa. Oh, my gosh. Get in. All right, so. Oh, yeah. Yeah, still charging. How much money is that? I already know. I used yesterday, I don't know, probably close to 200 kilowatts. Come on, Will. What did I do yesterday? I did close to 200 miles. Yeah, so I mean, yesterday I used. Yeah, I can't even think here. See what's going on. Come on, Will. Some of my dogs, you know, delay everything for us as I sit here and try to make things work. If I leave the door open, the dogs will be barking half the time and run down the stairs. So that's, here he comes. All right, here he comes. All right, get this here. Get that. Good boy. Get up there. Come on, get up there. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Why are you waiting on me? Get up there. Get up there. Come on. All right. Hey, is it warm? A little warmer. Today's definitely warmer. Not too bad. So that's a good thing. The winds have died down. And get the it's the morning time. So since I haven't talked at all, I am probably a little, you know, groggy voice in the morning, which that's what we all have, especially as you get older in life. Let's see here. Get the heat, get the TV going. So many things to do. And yeah, wear my Jeep hat. Yeah, well, here's a good, you know, trying to keep the car theme without getting radical. I mean, that's a challenge. I'm not going off the deep end of where this country is. I mean, who would ever imagine? So anyways, yeah, warning. So Tim Knuskis gave everybody fair warning, and apparently 2021, you're going to have a 1-year run-and-done Dodge Durango Hellcat. Well, guess what? That Dodge Durango Hellcat was more than a 1-year run-and-done. And apparently, there's some really mad Dodge Durango Hellcat owners that feel like they overpaid for a car that you can still buy in 2023. So there's been a class action lawsuit filed against Dodge that they were warned that you could, be so lucky to get a 1-year run and done Dodge Durango Hellcat. I'm not a Durango guy. I just don't think they look that great. I mean, it just isn't, that vehicle's, it doesn't get me excited. It's just like, whatever. If I was, wouldn't I have one? So anyways, so there's these select individuals that paid way too much. Where's my class action civil lawsuit for all these car dealers that have ever charged me for all my cars, right? When do I start that? When do I get the reimbursement for the power boost? It gets 19 miles a gallon. So I think to myself, that's interesting, right? Yeah, the manufacturers, hey, they're loyal, right? The manufacturers are loyal to us, right? I mean, they are, right? I mean, they just always, to a degree, yeah. I mean, for the Dodge Demon, they said 1 year run and done on that, and whoever owns a Dodge Demon, they definitely got the bang for the buck. That's for dang sure. But then here's a Ford just released its new 1.2 software update for the Blue Cruise package because it has more warning features for your car. Yes, apparently, for me, since I own electric vehicles and I own the Blue Cruise, but the Blue Cruise really was rolled out initially with the Ford Mustang Mach-E, but that's not factual. That's so funny. You read these journalist articles, and me being such a motorhead guy, I'm better attuned to what they are. When I bought my Ford F-150 Lightning, my Ford F-150 Tremor truck in September of 2021, that damn vehicle had Blue Cruise. But yet, you listen to these, journalists and talk about all this stuff, and I'll tell you that it was the electric vehicles that brought the Blue Cruise first, if that's the way I read it, but I could be wrong. But anyway, so the 1.2 software update won't be available to me until later this year. It only is now available on the immediate purchase of a 2023 Mustang Mach-E. But the warning signals are that it gives you the capability to do lane switching, like the Super Cruise and Tesla's autopilot program, where you can go from being in your lane, you turn your blinker on, and the Blue Cruise won't turn off the hands-free, and it'll switch lanes as long as its cameras know that there's not a car too close behind you or too in front of you, and it'll continue on its path up the way. It's only when you put the blinker switch on, whether you tap the blinker switch or turn the blinker switch on permanently, you get to have that hands-free driving capability. And that's right now. It is true. You're going down the highway on my Blue Cruise, and I have hands-free in the middle lane. When I go to the far left lane, you have to grab the steering wheel to overtake the car again until it goes back to Blue Cruise. So that's one of the software updates. The other is it's going to do more buffering towards bigger vehicles and vehicles that are riding too close to you in the lane. So for me, I've talked about it in many of my videos when I go down the road, if you ever watch them, that I go by a tractor trailer, and it's freaky because you're so close to that tractor trailer, and it's such a long pass on a big vehicle that you just know that tractor trailer just can move over just a little bit, and that Blue Cruise isn't going to catch that, I think, fast enough. You're going to scrape. So the new 1.2 software update has your vehicle automatically ride further to the left in the lane. It comes out of position of the middle lane to further left to compensate for big vehicles or the lazy man driver that's just hanging on that line if you go by him. And then the last update, or I should say there's 3 updates on that 1.2 software, is it's going to control the car and lower the speeds in corners, kind of trying to figure that one out. And then it's going to give you the availability, if you want to activate that feature, it also automatically change the speedometer, it would change the speeds on the Blue Cruise to the set highway speed. And that's like, yeah, right, 55 mile an hour, what main highway do people drive 55 miles an hour anymore? I mean, everybody's going 5, 10, 15 miles an hour over. So, yeah, I don't think I can see myself having that activated on. That's going to drive you nuts. You got your car set at, 70 in a 60 or whatever it may be, and then it goes to 55 or whatever. You're going to have like that instant, oh my gosh, you're slowing down. So, and how the curve thing works, I don't know. But it's all the warning. Where we are today more than ever in these cars is we have all these warning safety features more than ever, which can drive you nutty. People know the chimes and the dings, The rear seat occupant, I think that's a good one. I like that. Ford has the rear seat occupant when you turn off your vehicle to be aware that you should look in your back seat, make sure your kid isn't back there, because we know the horrible stories of people leaving their kids in their car all day to work in a 100-degree day, and they come out and they find their kid dead because they forgot to drop them off at the daycare center. Yeah, we've heard those stories. I mean, just wow, just beyond believable. But we all live in our little world, and if that baby's right behind your seat like that, and it's sleeping, it's easy for an individual, any of us, just to get out of the car and, I mean, wow, because you're so fixated on something, you're so caught up in the moment of a work project or relationship issues or whatever it may be, or maybe you're watching a YouTube video, right? So the warning of the car industry is, on the other aspect too, is what we've heard is that, production is going to be still challenging, and that, like Ford, when you order a car, you're not going to get the heated steering wheel, you're not going to get the massaging seats, you're not going to get, some of these extras on the high-end cars because of the chip-related issue. Isn't it interesting that here it is now, 3 years later, but we'll just say 2 years later, and I just know of people that thought that the chips would become rampant and everybody would be making so many of them. And in some sectors, of the television, cell phones, and other technology, that's factual. When it comes to the car side, the chip issue is still a major challenge in the automotive industry. And even for myself, I would have thought that at least 2 years later that the industry had kind of come back to life, but it hasn't. It's still challenging for the automotive industry to bring all the amenities and goodies that you want, and it's still challenging to get all these cars built efficiently and brought to the marketplace. It's just befuddling where we are in our society more than ever. There's so much technology. I mean, we have so much knowledge. Oh, I signed up for the Chat GPT, the AI, open AI, and that thing isn't really it isn't really as much as what I thought it is. It's just for me, it's pretty. For the base that I'm using, I'm not at the higher end. I'm not doing. I know you can do a lot of stuff with the AI, but if you sign up for the OpenAI.com, it's just the Wikipedia. I mean, basically all you're doing is you type. I'm not doing verbal communication. I'm doing typing. I just type in a question or an idea, and then within so many seconds, the AI, the generative pre-trained transformer, responds and gives you your Wikipedia answer. I mean, to me, it's just the Wikipedia of the internet, really. That just is interacting with you, versus you just going and doing a web search on your own, and you have to pull up the information and read it to yourself. I mean, so at this point, the artificial intelligence, to me, I know I've heard stories of people have it. You can use it to learn how to write an essay, theses, or a book, whatever. So, but I'm just saying, if anybody hasn't joined it, and my wife instantly is like, I would not do that. I would not do that. Now they know everything you're doing. Did you just hear me? Does anybody watch my YouTube channel? I mean, I look at my wife. Like, really? I have a YouTube channel that shows everything I'm doing. But hey, I get it. Well, if you're a pervert, I guess if you start putting, really stupid, if you start asking the generative pre-trained transformer, really, how do I kill somebody? I mean, if you start entering that data, yeah, I mean, you're self-incriminating yourself. Yeah, how do I sell drugs? I mean, but wait a second. Hey, isn't this kind of sound like people in power in our country? You know what I mean? I mean, good Lord. So I just really had, for me, yeah, all right, honey, but whatever. My wife doesn't want to, my wife has nothing to do with the public. Yeah, she just has nothing to do with that stuff. Nothing. She doesn't have online banking. She has, my wife is just does not want to be exposed to the general, internet of the world and the information share of the world. I'm not lying to you, but that's why you never see her. She doesn't want to be any part of this. Anyways, So the warning, right? I warned you about this, and that's the thing. In all these YouTube channels, doesn't it seem like the theme is the warning? It's a warning. You see Lucky Lucy, Lucky Lopez, the car guy, looks like a Las Vegas gambler guy to me. He looks like you're definitely a used car, type of movie character that's trying to sham you out of money, if you know what I mean. And so he's been warning all of us about the dire straits of where the car market can go. And then you can go to another guy, the warning of all the housing, crisis and how the market's gonna, the people are overpaying for a house. Then you get Dan the Man out in California that's gonna be coming up on 3 years of when I first heard about that guy. And he's the dire straits and here's the thing, you have to say it. I mean, for all the warning we're hearing, I guess it's just like a car. You have all these warning functions on not to crash, but I mean, in the end, what do people do? They crash. I mean, yeah, we're all just habits of the nature of the physics of the world, and maybe you didn't create the crash, but somebody else created the crash. So for all those warning and safety features of trying to help you avert the crash, that is in these cars more than ever. And then, as we all know, today's cars are designed to crumple, and take all the impact so that us as individuals can walk away. Versus years ago, we all knew you drove that big old Cadillac or Lincoln back in the 70s. Yeah, that car, the front bumper may not even be dented in, but you're freaking got a big old knot in your forehead from hitting the windshield. And you've got a big old steering wheel implanted in your chest. I mean, yeah. So, but today, with all the technology, the warning features, suppose they're supposed to help people from dying in cars. But yet, here's statistics. There was like 42,000 people last year that died in car accidents. So it's going up. The amount of people that are dying in cars is on the rise again. But what they're attributing it to is the technology, not the technology of the cars, the people that are playing with their cell phones, the people who are texting, the people who are reading going down the road, the people who are watching videos as they go down the road, the people distracted with the phone in their hands. So it's a major, major problem, which they just really can't get a handle on. I mean, who here has been driving down the road, the guy's left-hand lane, and all of a sudden he starts slowing down, he starts zigzagging, and you won't get out of left-hand lane, and you got to go around him, and then there's a person, doing this, doing this. And you're just like, dude, just get out of the way. Just go to the, middle or right-hand lane. Just move. Nope, not going to do that. So, I mean, and it's bad. I mean, I live on the roads. I see it all day long. I mean, I just see it all day long. I see people that have the cell phone, mounted to their steering wheel, basically, right in front of them as they're going down the road, and they're, reading something as they're driving down the road. I mean, I've seen people reading the newspaper, reading books. I mean, all the years down the road, I've seen people with a paperback, book in their steering wheel as they're driving down the road, and they're reading as they're driving down the road. So the distraction in these cars is at an all-time high. It's really bad. I mean, there's a lot of motorcyclists and people I've known that have given up motorcycle riding just for that reason. They're very concerned of being run over with their motorcycle because people are so distracted of not driving their car, of driving their cell phone. And it's a big problem. I mean, just here in this local area, really sad story. Years ago, a prominent lawyer is going to work in the morning, and he's on his cell phone texting, and he runs over this woman and her baby in a stroller, and he kills the baby. Yeah, that was probably at least 8 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. So that guy may be getting ready to get out of prison, maybe. I mean, it's just, it's just wow, But his life's been turned upside down. The guy was probably 50 years old. He went to prison. He gets out. He's 60. You've been tarnished from your actions of, everybody's done it. Who hasn't been on your phone, whether you're sitting in your car or you're sitting in your house, and something's going on around you, and you're oblivious to it because you're so fixated to looking at your phone, right? Got to get myself some water here. Don't have the coffee this morning. The coffee thing just really irritates the heck out of my GERD. And sometimes I just think, time out. just GERD, man. If anybody doesn't know what GERD is, I mean, you gotta, Jesus Christ. But somebody would have taught me things when I was younger that I would kind of know now. But we just don't do it. We don't talk about it. We just take assumptions that you know things. And here's stock market back up over 32, I guess. So, what's it going to do today? The warning signs, right? And that's all you hear now, kind of talk to the car, now to the state of the times. It's so interesting, this Ukraine war, Russia war. Now you have Ron DeSantis being called out, and then Mark Levin's calling out Ron DeSantis, and then you have Mike Pompeo, whatever, the Secretary of Defense, and all these guys. Russia, it's just maddening. To me as an individual, as I get older in life, I just look at people and I say, how do you process information? How do you process what is given to you to come to closure of what makes any sense? And more than ever in our society, I think that people are just a bunch of dope heads, a bunch of potheads. I mean, the drugs for sure are destroying this society. It's casual, recreational drugs. It just turned everybody into a bunch of potheads. It really is. And these governing body people, they're smoking dope every night, no doubt in my mind. Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, those guys smoked dope with each other and did cocaine with each other and had fun with each other in many ways. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. So I think to myself, Russia told the world we're invading Ukraine, right? Didn't Russia over a year ago, aren't we up at the year anniversary of Russia and you invaded Ukraine? Didn't Russia tell the world they're going to invade Ukraine? And I said over a year ago that we need to get every country needs to get together and tell Russia to go home. Just go home, because it's not going to be a pretty picture. It's going to be, it's not going to be good. Okay, but so many world leaders no, we're not getting into a war with Russia. I mean, how do these people get punished for how stupid they are? I mean, how do you punish these political leaders in this country and these leaders of businesses? How do we punish these people? How do you get rid of them? How do you tarnish them? How do you throw them out of office? I mean, sincerely, why are we living in an age of society if these people are leaders? I mean, it's beyond believable. The CEO of the diesel cheat gate of Volkswagen, that guy's in prison. The private sector, certain individuals go to prison, but these political figures and leaders of the world, they just keep on skating. You can't touch me. You can't touch me. I'm bigger than you, and I know how to play the game, and you can't touch me. So here we are in a full-blown war with Russia. We are in a total war with Russia. Why? And it's just beyond believable. You have to think this through. I mean, come on. Just think it through. Why didn't this country want to go head-to-head with Russia from the get-go, and instead we're using Ukraine to fight the war for us? I've heard it mentioned many times. It's called money laundering. It's called that, I guess, people can feed Ukraine tons of money, of military aid, but how do you have accountability? Isn't that a big word right now? It's being talked about. Is the accountability of where the monies that this country is giving Ukraine and how it's being handled to fight the war. Every time we turn around, this guy Zelensky, the comedian, to me, the guy's a shady guy. I think this guy's shady. And I just don't have good feelings about who this guy is that's running the war against Russia on our behalf, that's draining our pocketbooks. And, once again, this morning, the warning. Russia warned the world that it's going to go take Ukraine away and bring it back to their, province. Why do we really care? And you hear all these conversations, yeah, but Russia's going to control this, control that. Okay. Well, if we were so worried about that, then why were we, with European allies, standing in front of the border of Ukraine fighting this war that's turned into a fiasco? Oh, my gosh. Just maddening that you have these incompetent leaders of the world that are playing to the Putin man. And now China, in some degrees, is kind of on the sidelines. Iran. I mean, we have all the ones that don't look to us as us being better than them. I mean, China, as well as I do, China's position in our country is, we're done with you guys, and we're going to be done with you guys, and we're going to control you guys more than ever, and you're not going to do nothing about it because you got a bunch of freaking you don't have leadership. The military is down 7% in enrollment. The military, this is just released information that the military families is like nothing. Back in 1995, 45% of families had military-related, family members. Today, it's like 6%. So the military, the honoring your country, the military presence and families, of the importance of us having a strong, youthful, young generation of people willing to protect our country, that's declining. And then the well-being and health of the younger generation is declined as well. And then the woke thing is beyond believable. The warning. I mean, who's not? I mean, for the record, who isn't, as the average person, want to look at the person and say this is a huge warning signal to society, to the United States of America society, really just decaying at a pace never seen before because of just the Looney Tunes that are populating among us like never seen. What is it from? Was this from people smoking dope and doing pot and having impregnating, getting kids pregnant? I mean, think it through. Were people stoned off their ass that have had the latest round of the rising generation of kids? Where these kids in today's society seem to be confused and lost, and they want to change gender? And I mean, what is it? Is it that, or is it no? It's the device that I'm talking to right now is controlling the thoughts and feelings and views and ideas of the society that's the young society around us at a pace never seen before, and the brainwashing is rampant like never ever seen, and the hate. I mean, you see the warning signs. You don't know what to believe. You see these videos. I mean, the guy, what was the guy's name? Scott Adams, the guy, whatever, Dilbert, the cartoon guy, the guy that got shamed for calling out the black people for beating up white people. I mean, is it really going on as much as they claim it's going on? I mean, you don't see it in the general media. On the Twitter side, you see videos, but you see both. You see videos of blacks beating up blacks, and you see videos of white beating up a black, and you see blacks beating up white. So to me, this is typically the younger kind of generation crowd. I haven't really seen myself, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I really haven't seen the people my age beating up on one another per se. Besides, we all have our physical moments of anger and disgust that we turn to physical action. But it's like the warning signs are all over the place in our country of the leadership is really putting us at harm in so many aspects of life: financial harm, physical harm, security harm, and then you can go back to the cars, the environmental harm. I mean, all you hear about is the green agenda. Is the warning is that the ICE vehicles are a shame to the mother nature of the world. And that, the warning is, the dire, straits are that these continued use of these gasoline cars is going to destroy the world as we know it. And so the warning has, created the huge EV, electric vehicle transportation market at, it strides and bounds never seen ever in the transformation of transportation. I mean, think about it. Of the speed right now, the goal is 2035. 2035 is the goal for all these manufacturers no longer to sell one ICE vehicle ever again. Wow. Yeah, it's happening. I mean, all these manufacturers are raising their hand and saying, hey, here by middle of this decade, we're going to have a ton of EV vehicles. By 2030, the majority of the vehicles will be EV vehicles. And so they're giving everybody a warning of what's to come because of the green agenda has forewarned everybody that this carbon dioxide being spewed out of these gasoline ICE vehicles is destroying the world. Warning. It just seems like we're all living in society. I mean, we all lived in fear from 2020 through the pandemic because of China. China showing videos of people dropping dead. Does anybody remember this stuff? Does anybody remember that China, the propaganda machine that China had prior to the virus really getting here in great strides, that they were showing some virus had hit their country and people would drop dead in the middle of the streets? That's like they caught this virus. I mean, I think it's just incredible. And then, and so that was a stark warning. But at the same time, there were so many in this country who are like, this is just malarkey. Yeah, I mean, it's just wow. And then the warning of a fast-paced virus with a fast-paced vaccine the warning was you're crazy to take the vaccine, right? But then the whole warning goes from don't take it. The warning then goes if you can't have a vaccine card, you can't get on an airplane, you can't travel internationally, you can't get on a bus, you can't go to the health club, you can't go to the bar, you can't go to the restaurant, your kid can't go to school. Your warning is if we don't have a vaccine card on document in your file at your employer's office within X amount of time, you're going to be laid off and fired. Hello! Oh my gosh, man. Wow. But all these people that gave us a warning are still in power. And people listen to their next warning. And they believe it. It's just a broken record. You have people in society today that the record, that's why people listen to songs over and over again. Yeah, because they hear the same tune over and over again. And they fall into that same tune that person promotes, and they just think that's the way it is. It is what it is. Yeah, so the warning of the dire straits of the financial markets. Yeah, I mean, this SVB thing is beyond believable. It's starting to come to light. Here's Gavin Newsom. All the big wigs had so much money at stake in this Silicon Valley bank. There was no way they're going to lose their ass on. There's no way at any expense. They made sure all these big wigs got their money out of that bank before it really did go to the bottom, and the government put all the money back in for them because these are the big guys, and you can't play at the big guys. You can't play at the big guys. They're untouchable, beyond believable. And then if you become a person that starts promoting violence and hate and to do devious and bad things, then you're the problem. You're the problem, and that's what I've said for years. You'll get nowhere in the streets of this country on physical abuse and violence. It's the media machine. Until you can become bigger and badder than the propaganda media machine that is in our society more than ever, you won't get anywhere because you'll look like you're the problem. I'm sure anybody that's totally different views from me would watch my channel right now and go, that guy's dangerous. He's radical. He's I'd be like, really? What have I done? I'm the guy sitting here just witnessing in front of me what you're witnessing of all the dire straits and warnings that all we hear from these leaders of our country that are making us the weakest country ever since this country was formed. And the policies and governing bodies are making, you as an individual in so many aspects weaker in so many different ways. Religious beliefs, freedom of speech, financially. Your choice of your transportation. This goes on and on and on and on. So, wow. I'm going to kind of leave it at that. And yeah, did I give you a warning? But this is the thing. I'm not here to try to be the YouTube channel guy to say, okay, you look to me for all the warnings and I'm going to tell you the future. No. I'm just wanting to share with you my ideas and views of what I see. And hopefully others can just sit back and say, I'm glad I'm not the only person in this country right now that thinks like the Iceman does, because I see what he sees and I understand what he sees. And others would maybe portray me to think that, I'm kind of different and weird for thinking the way that he thinks. That's all it's about. And then somebody be like, yeah, but you look at things all the wrong way. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, I want to hear your way. What's your way? What's your view of all the warning signs that are being told us all the time, but they're not being resolved in the way you process information, just like Ukraine-Russia war. How's that going to be resolved? How is the Russia-Ukraine war going to be resolved? Does anybody really know? I mean, is this going to be Afghanistan? I mean, is this just going to be the 10-year war? I mean, as we just, witness whatever. So anyways, all right, everybody. Hey, appreciate you watching my channel. Thanks for all the support. And I got to get going. I got a busy day, take care of things, and got a lot on my plate. And I hope everybody has a great day and an upbeat day. I hope everybody has a winning. Let's have a winning day. Sincerely, watch my Think and Grow Rich video. Let's focus on winning? How do we win and become bigger and better with the right people in place, with the right ideas and views in direction of this country? And it's there. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. If you can get the right people in power and get the more common sense people, I think we can write this thing and make it bigger and better. No doubt in my mind. But we need a lot of leadership, and we need a lot of people to just start speaking up and saying, that's just not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. God bless. Stay safe, and stay tuned.